All right, thank you, Mr. Hartnett. Our third student speaker of the day is Jonathon Strong. Jonathon was born and raised in Houston, Texas, and a graduate of Texas A&M University, where he majored in finance. Jonathon is currently a third-year JD MBA dual degree student here at Texas Tech School of Law and at the Rawls College of Business. Jonathon serves as the business manager and executive board member for our journal and is a member of the Phi Delta Phi International Honor Society, the Aggie Bar Association, and the Tech Law Mentors. Jonathon will be presenting his article featured in Volume 6, Book 2 of the Estate Planning Journal titled Putting Our Trust in the National Collegiate Athletic Association, How Creating Trust for Student Athletes Can Save the NCAA from Itself. Please join me in welcoming Jonathon Strong.
Thanks, Steve. Cool. All right. Well, like Evan said, I'm Jonathon Strong, and I'm talking about the NCAA and creating trusts for college athletes. So Ed O'Bannon played college basketball at UCLA in the mid-'90s, won a national championship for him, and became a pretty successful car salesman. And one day his nephew was playing college basketball video game, and he was playing with a legacy team, and Ed O'Bannon was on the team. And he, this is probably 10 years after he graduated college, he said, well, why am I not getting any money for them using my image and likeness in a video game? So he did what any rational person would do. He sued. So Ed O'Bannon filed a lawsuit against the NCAA, alleging that the student athletes are required to forego their image and likeness at the benefit of the NCAA to make billions. And so he also sued EA Sports, which is the video game maker, and Collegiate Licensing Company. And EA Sports actually announced last year that they would stop making the video games. So video gamers out there, no more college football video game or college basketball. And the Collegiate Licensing Association settled for $50 million, which actually isn't that much compared to what the NCAA is about to have to fork over. So now it's just the NCAA in the lawsuit with Ed O'Bannon and a few other plaintiffs. And the whole issue is whether college athletes, whether the NCAA is allowed to, force college athletes to give up their image and likeness for the NCAA to profit. Well, the Judge Wilkin out of California sided with the plaintiffs. And the judge said that the NCAA first violated antitrust laws, and then another issue dealt with increasing the scholarship for student athletes to cover full cost of attendance. When you think full ride for scholarship, you would think it would cover full cost, but in fact it really doesn't. So they increased it, the scholarship, to cover full cost, and then also created a $5,000 per year trust account for college athletes. And my paper came out, last spring, and I unfortunately didn't send it to the judge, but I like to think that she somehow read it and thought it was a good idea. So the idea behind the trust is that the $5,000 is a minimum, and schools are going to be able to choose to go above that $5,000 if they feel it necessary. And so each year, $5,000 is going to be placed in a trust for each college athlete. The NCAA, of course, appealed. It's going to be heard in front of the Ninth Circuit. And we'll kind of see what happens with that. California is pretty plaintiff-friendly. But the NCAA has said that they'll take it all the way to the Supreme Court, so it's kind of interesting to see what happens. Now, my paper kind of breaks down the benefits of a trust. I won't bore y'all with what actually a trust is, but the idea is to use a percentage of the profits that the NCAA makes through broadcasting revenue, the new college playoff system, ticket sales, and place a percentage of that into trust accounts for each college athlete. We don't discriminate based off male or female or sport. It's every student athlete is able to receive a trust. And it's placed in this trust, and the school is the trustee, and they handle the trust account. Now, the idea is to kind of create a little financial responsibility for these college athletes. My paper proposes that college athletes are required to go to financial counseling upon entering college and kind of learn the ropes of budgeting, kind of how to save money. athletes are famous for going bankrupt all the time. Mike Tyson went bankrupt and he had made $300 million. So it's really, it's possible. A ton of athletes do it. So the idea is to kind of teach these athletes some financial responsibility. And then they'll have exit counseling on the way out to where they have options on what to do with their trusts. Whether they want to transfer their trust to their kid, create a college fund for the kid, donate it back to the school, donate it back to the athletic department, or withdraw the trust, or keep the money in the trust and let it, gain money for them. So each year, it's $5,000 is placed into that account, and they'll accrue interest, and then they have some options upon graduating what to do with the trust. Some schools have a capability to where students are able to go back to college and finish their degree and not have to pay for it because they were a college athlete, previously. But the problem is not all the schools do it. So this trust account also can be used to go get another degree or finish their degree. Plenty of athletes leave school early and never actually finish their degree. So that's kind of the benefit of that trust. Additionally, it being a revocable trust, the NCAA is allowed to have requirements. You have to remain in good academic standing. You can't violate NCAA rules. And there's also benefits to where, okay, you did really well in school. Let's go ahead and give you an increase in your trust account. So there's perks to encourage athletes to, abide by the NCAA guidelines and bylaws and also do well in school. If I knew I was getting a paycheck at the end of the month, if I brought home A's, I probably would have brought home A's. And so that's kind of the idea, is to create incentives for the athletes to, do better in school. And like I said, these are some of the benefits of the trust. And let's see. Oh, well, I got a little more, I guess. But in my paper, I kind of break down what each conference and school, their responsibilities and what they're supposed to do. And the cool thing is if the school decides to revoke the trust or decrease the amount, students are able to appeal, and they'll appeal to, we'll create a system to where they're able to appeal and defend their case. There's not really a lot of due process with the NCAA. They've gotten in a lot of trouble because of that. And this kind of gives players, a third party to kind of make their case of, hey, my trust shouldn't have been revoked. I didn't do anything wrong. I shouldn't lose some money. So that's an option available to the student athletes to make their case. And then, the real benefit is just kind of setting them up for the future. Like I said, a lot of athletes go broke. So having the trust, really helps them when they start in the real world, especially since majority of the student athletes come from lower socioeconomical backgrounds. So having this trust not only helps create financial responsibility, but also gives them, some money to when they graduate college, they actually, have some money, some spending money, and, they hopefully don't go broke. But at that, I'll be here around all day. So if you have any questions, appreciate it, and thank you very much for your time.
All right, with that, thank you very much, Jonathan. We're going to take another 10-minute break. It's been indicated to me, so both a Southwest Bank and a State Gen are both doing raffles in the forum between now and then our next break. So on the break, feel free to drop off your business card with them, and hopefully you'll win something. We'll see you back here in 10 minutes. There's also more food, so feel free to do that too.
Buyer's next. Lapena's last.
Did I stop the recording for lunch? Let's hope. No, you didn't. No, I did. Yeah. We've only been rolling for 50 minutes.